Heia kapunaho, heia kapunaho, aino kane o kamanue, aina ho kapunaho, aina ho kapunaho, aloha e. Aloha e, aloha e.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That many of you recognize is a oli which welcomes people to Punahou. And now it's my privilege to introduce a man who needs no introduction, Jim Scott, president of our school.
Last Saturday night, I graduated my 22nd Punahou graduating class. 431 seniors. Faces were radiant, enthusiastic, a little wistful. The rest of their lives in front of them. You could have seen yourselves all those many years ago. 431 seniors are going to 152 different colleges. 95% of them are leaving the state of Hawaii. The most popular colleges, USC, followed by University of Hawaii, Seattle University, Santa Clara, and University of Washington. This is where they probably didn't look like our class. One half of the class of 2016 will go to college on need-based financial aid. 2/3 of them will go to private schools. And yet they represent fewer than 4% of all the seniors in the state this spring. Fewer than 4%, and yet this class contained 1/3 of the state's national merit finalists. Both of Hawaii's presidential scholars. Their performing arts were extraordinary. Some of you were at graduation, you heard them sing. Once again, this class is rivaled by only those schools that specialize in the arts. This class had nationally and internationally ranked athletes, Olympic hopefuls. They won more than one half of the ILH championships, 1/3 of the state championships. And so as the principal of the school in her first year, Dr. Emily McCarran, presented them for their diplomas, she got to brag about them as she presented them to me. And so moments before I gave them their diplomas, I invoked you collectively. Because what I tried to do over the years is to talk to them about what it means to be a Punahou alum. So here's just a glimpse of just a fraction of that speech. Well, seniors, in a few moments you'll be Punahou graduates. You're about to join the ranks of tens of thousands of educated men and women who came before you, who for the past 174 years have marched down the aisle, crossed the stage at their Punahou graduation to claim their diploma from the president of the school. And their parents and families and teachers like yours gathered tonight, undoubtedly beamed with pride, excitement, gratitude, probably even shed a tear as they joyfully and wistfully celebrated their child's transition, a major milestone in their young life. But then I went on to say, you're about to join something bigger than a global network of Punahou alumni. You heard Andy talk about our chapters all over the world. You're about to embrace a covenant, I told him, that will connect you forever to one another and to your fellow Punahou alums because of the gift. You are the beneficiaries of the common gift of an uncommon education, given to you by your families, your teachers, and as they started to find out in these last few weeks, a gift they give to one another, our memories of our classmates. The deep friendships you have made here will remain with you the rest of your lives. Remember these moments, I said to them, and the community that you've created here among good friends, classmates, teammates, fellow performers. Store it in your memory. Hold on to it, carry it with you, because you have now seen what it means to be among accomplished people, to have high expectations, not just of yourself, but the people around you. You know what it means now to serve, and you know what it means to feel that you're part of a vibrant and caring community. And finally, I said, the greatest expression of appreciation and understanding of this gift is to recreate this kind of community wherever you go in this world. And so this is where I invoked the alumni. People who are well-prepared, creative, confident, and compassionate, have the capacity and the responsibility to make another life better. So I think as we hear these awards presented tonight, they recognize a fraction of the Punahou Alumni Association. But you, through your lives, inspire our current students. And as I welcomed 431 seniors into the Punahou Alumni Association, I also was able to talk to them about what it means to be a Punahou graduate. So I want to congratulate the award winners, welcome everyone to the President's Home. And let me turn this back to our president, Andy.
Our alumni community is growing, so that's fabulous. I'd like to recognize our awards committee, who worked hard to vet many, many applications. When you have as many alumni as we do, there's a lot of very talented people out there in the world. So they had to go through many applications and think very hard about who this year's nominees and award winners would be. And it's a big year. It's the 175th year, and so they took that job very serious. Our chair is Chris Abbott, right over here. And helping him was Heather Conahan, who served as chair the previous year. Also Celeste Magnani behind her. And Cheryl Lipton. So thank you guys for your hard work. So as many of you may have seen, the Owen Life Award is the honor that exemplifies ideals of service to Punahou and the community. And it is created in 1954. It is the most prestigious award of the Alumni Association. This year's recipient is Dick Cox from the class of 1938. Recognizes his substantial contribution to the community as well as to Punahou. Richard was honored at a celebratory luncheon that occurred here on May 12th, and he attended with his family and friends and other community members. And we will also recognize Richard at the luau, I'm pleased to say. Briefly, he's had a long and distinguished career in scientific water, land, and management fields, including time with the Gladstone Rocket Range with the California Institute of Technology, as a civil engineer with McBride Sugar Company on Kauai, and as a land manager and vice president of Alexander and Baldwin in Honolulu. Dick earned the Owen Life distinction by his professional success, passion, and support for Punahou, and numerous contributions to the people of the state of Hawaii throughout his life, including support of the Woe Center, the East-West Center, the University of Hawaii, the DLNR Water Commission, the Board of Water Supply, the Cattlemen's Council, and significant contributions in support of financial aid and international student travel. Dick is a constant presence on campus with daily walks around the neighborhood, including the Omidyar neighborhood. He has been to Punahou's 125th anniversary celebration, 150th anniversary celebration, and now its 175th anniversary celebration. And in 2018, he plans to attend his 80th reunion. As one alumnus commented to me on his selection, he's a great guy who knows everything about water and, in fact, everything about everything. Congratulations, Dick. Yeah. come up and be recognized, please.
Well, you know, I'm just was a poor plantation kid. But I did go to Punahou eventually when I got into the 8th grade. And my teacher for algebra and along there was Oscar Shepard, who was the principal at that time. And I think that helped me because I went to Caltech eventually. But I want to say that what I'm really impressed with is that what Jim Scott has done since he's been president of Punahou. You know, we've got the Omidar for kindergarten and first grade. We have the Case School, and now we're going to have some for new one for the Winnie units along here. And I think he has done such a good job. There are two people that maybe there are three people that I especially would like to comment about to him. Number one is his two girls that are principals now. And I know they're going to do a good job because one lives about 3 houses away from me up the hill, and the other lives about 4 houses down the hill from me. So I know they're good people. And the other one that I want to mention, though, is Kwai Freddy, who's now the WOE Center, International Center. And I think that the university, Punahou, is now going to become, it has become a world-famous high school along in here. And I just want to say thank you, Jim, for what you've done.
Each year, the Alumni Association's privileged to recognize 2 graduating seniors. And as of today, 2 of our newest alumni. Those 2 are Hyunjae Seo and Michael Chen, who were honored with the award by President Scott and their deans, Reed Ashford and Rick Toon, at the 2016 Academic Awards Assembly. Their deans said about them, Hyunjae is one of the most formidable intellects on campus. Hyunjae's near-perfect transcript is marred only by an A- in orchestra freshman year. I'm envious right there. A talented pianist and violinist, Hyunjae has played in our symphony orchestra since freshman year, as well as for the Honolulu Youth Symphony and numerous chamber orchestras. She serves as a chemistry TA and works in the UH Manoa lab studying moths. She tutors peers in Mandarin, competes for the math team, and leads the music club. Participates in service activities with the Key Club, and dances ballet. She takes on our toughest courses and earns superlative comments from her teachers. A National Merit semifinalist, she was also a Presidential Scholars candidate. Kind, thoughtful, and fiercely intellectual, Hyunjae awes her peers with her capacity. So we are pleased to have presented her with the award at the Academic Assembly. Hyunjae, are you here tonight? If you are, could you step forward and be recognized? Congratulations. The other awardee is Michael Chen, says the deans. Hands down the brightest and highest achiever in the class of 2016. In any decade, only a handful of Punahou students graduate with a perfect 4.0 average. Michael is one of them. He has taken every AP honors course that he can shoehorn into his schedule, and he spends each summer in additional study. He's the go-to tutor of choice for many students who have difficulty, who needs difficulty concepts, and he patiently explains those concepts. Michael has worked as a TA in chemistry for 4 years. He competes on most academic teams we have, from the World Quest to the Science Bowl. He's been a varsity tennis player since freshman year, and his class has elected him treasurer 4 years in a row. Michael is the principal clarinetist and concertmaster of the Wind Ensemble, our top band, and he also plays in the Honolulu Youth Symphony. A National Merit semifinalist, most recently he was awarded the prestigious Coca-Cola Scholarship, given only to 150 people nationally, and named a Presidential Scholars semifinalist. We'll know in early May, or it's late May, if he's one of the 2 students from Hawaii who will be given that prestigious award. Most importantly, however, Michael is kind, humble, compassionate, and truly one of the most admired students on campus. So congratulations to Michael. And Michael, are you here to be recognized? Good job, guys. Boy, I wish I could have done it like that. Now, I'd like to ask Chris Abbott, our chair of the awards committee, to come to stage. He's going to help me present the remaining awards. Chris?
Thank you, Andy, and thank you all of you for being here for the annual awards, as well as the annual meeting of the Punahou Alumni Association. While we're doing these introductory remarks, there are many chairs out here that are empty. For those of you who want to sit down, there are 9 awardees coming up. So please, as we're doing this, feel free to make your way in. If it doesn't say your name on the chair, it's okay. They're not here. They're not going to be here. I'd also ask that you guys each take a moment to check your cell phones to make sure that they're on vibrate or otherwise off for the remainder of the ceremony. The awards committee solicited nominations throughout the year and met in February and in March to consider all of the awardees, all of the nominations, pardon me. And given that it was the 175th and given the size, the sheer size of our Alumni Association, we had a tremendous set of nominations come through. And you'll see that today in the men and the women who are being awarded the various awards. I do want to thank the efforts of my committee, who Andy mentioned earlier. In March, this slate was presented to the Board of Directors of the Punahou Alumni Association and was approved unanimously. And to all nominators out there, many of whom I see in the crowd today, thank you very much for your nomination. I know the awardees also, in particular, thank you, but thank you for your efforts. One last note before we get started. Due to the sheer number of nominations today, or I should say awardees, our remarks on the awardees are going to be a bit briefer than usual, and we're going to ask the awardees to keep their remarks to be a little bit briefer. I would encourage you to keep an eye out in the upcoming bulletin, which is expected later this summer, where more info will be included about each award winner. And finally, you'll see them presented today with a certificate noting the award. They also, each award winner is receiving a poi pounder that you see over there that was created as a tradition of the Alumni Association. So without further ado, and I'll ask Andy to please come back and join me for this, we'll get started today with the Old School Award. The Old School Award was created in 1976 because the Board of Directors of the Alumni Association wanted to be able to recognize many who support Punahou in various ways and exemplify the spirit of Punahou through outstanding service to the school. It is the one award for which alumni and non-alumni may be considered for the award, and no nominee can be a current PAA officer or director. This year, the Board of Directors of the Punahou Alumni Association is proud to give the award to 3 individuals, 3 very deserving individuals. First up, and I'd like to call up to the stage now from the class of 1966, is Myron Arakawa. Myron has had an exemplary career, most recently in college counseling. Many recent grads have been afforded his services. In 2014, he received the Gail Wilson Service to Education Award from the National Association of College Admissions Counseling. In 1997, he received the Distinguished Service Award from the College Board. And then in 2005, again from the College Board, he received the Joe Allen Exemplar Award. So please join me once again in congratulating Myron Arakawa from the class of '66.
Jim mentioned the comments to the senior class at graduation about the covenant and the commitment to community. And as I heard Mr. Cox, I'm another plantation boy from Waipahu. But I remember the sacrifices that my parents had to send me here, and I'm blessed. Because Jim always talks about the faculty and the coaches presenting opportunities for kids to be successful at Punahou. And I think about my family and the opportunity they gave me to come here and be successful. Also wanted to thank my two daughters who are 13-year Punahou graduates, and my wife. In 3 weeks, we celebrate our 45th wedding anniversary. And mahalo to my class of 1966. We're celebrating our 50th reunion. The class of 66, when we graduated, our senior year was the 125th birthday for Punahou. And here we're celebrating our 175th. And Bill Carney was the editor of Ka Punahou. And this is what he wrote, and it resonates even today. In an editorial, he said, Punahou School, for all of its 125 years of glory, now 175 years of glory, is not an adequate nor even a legitimate incentive for achievement. The uniqueness of this school is in its opportunity, nothing more. But let's be honest and set our purpose clear. We are not here to make a school which is magnificent, but men and women who are magnificent, which is more. A magnificent school should be a consequence. So here we are today celebrating the accomplishments of so many great and magnificent alum. What we have in common is that we are all products of a very magnificent school. Punahou, Punahou, yes, yes, yes.
Please join me in welcoming our second awardee of the Old School Award, Eric Kusunoki. Eric was a teacher at Punahou for 41 years and retired last year, and continues to coach baseball and football. He's a regular musician, participates in the melee, and a mentor in the Academy Bridge program. But really what sums up really a reason or example of why PAA decided to award him the Old School Award can be summarized in a letter that he received last year, which he has graciously given the PAA permission to read. It's dated June 12, 2005, and it reads, and I quote, "Dear Eric, congratulations on your retirement. Throughout my time at Punahou, particularly in the early mornings and homeroom that set the stage for each day, these formative years, for each day during these formative years, your support and encouragement helped define my sense of what was possible. As you begin this new chapter, I hope you take pride in the ways you've inspired countless students to believe in their ability to shape the future. Again, congratulations. Sincerely, Barack Obama, the White House, Washington." Congratulations, Eric.
I don't know what to say. I'm not a Punahou alum, and growing up here in Honolulu, down by Kapahulu, I knew of Punahou as a special place. And I knew some people who went there, and they were special people. And not in an elitist sense, but they were special. And I had no idea that I'd ever be here, either as a student or as a teacher. But when I did get that opportunity, it was serendipitous, because I was lucky to be in the right place at the right time. And fortunately for me, things have worked out, and for my family. And I thank Andy, the Punahou Alumni Association, and all the people that I've worked with, students, faculty, administrators. It's just been a wonderful experience. And when Andy called me, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what to say, because, I'm not an alum. What did I do? And my wife we were having breakfast, and she asked, "What was that all about?" I said, "I don't know." And when I tried to explain, she said, "Why?" And I said, "I don't know." And after thinking about it for a couple of weeks and getting the letter, I realized what it was all about, and I really appreciated it. But I feel kind of embarrassed, because I really appreciate the recognition tonight. But I've just been enjoying what I've done, and when you get an opportunity to do what you love and love what you do, this is just unbelievable. And I appreciate the honor that you bestow upon me tonight, but actually I'm sharing it with all the other teachers, faculty that I work with, coaches that I coach with, students that I've had, and it's good to see so many of you honored tonight too. It makes me very proud to see how you've done, and to say that, yeah, I had he or she as a student. And usually teachers get to enjoy the successes of their students from afar, and that's about it. But I've been very lucky to see so many of you, grow up, graduate, and take your place in the world and do so well. And that's my high, and that's my reward. So, we can all graduate and retire from Punahou and leave Punahou, but for me, Punahou will never leave me. It's always been with me. Thank you.
To introduce our third awardee of the Old School Award, I'm going to ask Andy Bunn to return to the podium.
Our third awardee is Alan Murabayashi. Alan, if you could come up, please. So I asked Chris, I actually asserted executive privilege and said that I was going to introduce Alan because I've had the privilege of working with Alan for a long time now. Alan was a founding and the founder of our PAA New York chapter, as one of the first to respond to the rallying cry from Punahou and the Alumni Association to help us organize chapters in a serious way. He has consistently opened his home on many, many occasions to alumni in the New York area, and particularly to the young students who are out there looking for a little taste of Hawaii in a cold and different landscape. He is the current co-chair of PAA New York. He works with the Woe Center Student Global Leadership Initiative. He also mentors Punahou alumni throughout the region. He graduated from Yale in 1994, and this is where I really get to get him, because when he last introduced me at our Punahou Sessions event, he singled me out as an orchestra nerd. So I can respond to say that Alan was a member of the Alley Cats and the Whiffin' Poops. So, so I think it's all, well, we're all in it together. But with regard to the Punahou Sessions, if you've seen that online, those are pieces featuring our musicians. They are fabulously produced. Alan was the brainchild behind it and the executive producer behind it, lining up the talent and orchestrating it and coordinating with the recording staff. And it's done, it has got us tremendous exposure, good positive exposure to our alumni in a way that we haven't achieved before. And in fact, in discussing lots of the initiatives that we've had and discussions that I've had with Punahou's administration and our board, I would say, hey, that's a good idea. And somehow I would figure Alan was behind it. And he has been. And so Alan, for that, you are very deserving of this award. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. If the hairlines of my fellow winners are any indication, I should be good for the next 40 years or so. Looking good. Of course, thank you to my parents for setting the example for how to give back to the community. They're here somewhere. I'm dead. I occasionally give blood at the Dillingham Blood Center. And if you've ever given blood there, you might have seen Eric Kusunoki's photo on the wall. Eric Kusunoki has given hundreds and hundreds of units of blood. Every unit of blood saves 4 lives. So that man right there has saved thousands of lives in Hawaii. I don't know what compels someone to do that over and over again every 2 months, but it is an example for us. The last thing, which I tell a lot of the kids up in New York, the community you deserve is the community you help build. You all have built a wonderful community for the Punahou alumni, so thank you very much. Thank you.
Stay up here. The next award we'll be presenting tonight is the Samuel Chapman Armstrong Award. Samuel Chapman Armstrong Humanitarian Award is given to Punahou alumni who have made outstanding contributions to society, garnering national or international recognition. It's intended to be an occasional award, and it's not a substitute or to compete with the Owen Life. And the primary qualifications, the nominee and awardee must have made outstanding contributions in the field of public service, humanitarian or charitable efforts, arts, letters, or sciences, which have gained the awardee significant national or international recognition. This year, PAA is proud to give the award to 2 individuals. I'd like to call up first Cowie Hart Hemmings from the class of '94. Cowie has been, Cowie's been published in numerous articles. She's been a speaker at various festivals, companies, networks, and other sorts of activities. She's published several books, the most popular of which is The Descendants in 2007, which was in print in 24 countries and turned into an Oscar-winning film. Please join me in welcoming Cowie Hart.
Thank you. I'm really just grateful to be in this room right now at this moment with people like you, alumni and teachers right there, two of them who I love, one back there. And I think as alumni, we're just so unified and we have so much in common, and yet we're all so different. And I love that Punahou has always celebrated our differences, thank God. And lastly, I just want to thank my directors and my producers, my mom and dad, who have given me this opportunity. And as a mom now and having 2 tuitions to pay for, I'm extremely even more grateful. So thank you, and thank you to this community. Appreciate it.
Our second award winner tonight is Ken Richardson from the class of 1948. Ken was nominated by 22 of his classmates. He spent 40 years at Hughes Aircraft Company, he was the former, and rising from radar design engineer to president and COO of a company that employed 85,000 people. After his time at the Hughes Aircraft Company, he authored the book Hughes After Howard, a book that is part memoir, part technical manual, and part leadership guide. To create the book, he interviewed more than 60 former Hughes employees and other experts to craft the account of the period. It shares the culture, and it shows how the company nurtured creativity by giving every employee the freedom to think and break beyond the boundaries. He has a strong interest in motivating young minds, and he has supported not only Punahou with the Ken Richardson Learning Lab, but also scholarships at both Tufts and USC. Again, please welcome Ken Richardson.
Thank you. You might wonder about this and my needing help up the stairs. I have advice for you. If you fly your airplane, don't do something dumb and crash it, because some long-lasting effects may occur. Strawberry shortcake, huckleberry pie.
P-S-C-T-O-R-Y. Are we in it? Well, I guess. Punahou, yes, yes, yes.
We are all bonded together by something that's most unusual. It's a school spirit you will not find anywhere else, except maybe at USC. But Punahou did something else for us, rather than just bond us together with a school spirit. They actually molded our careers, our characteristics. I'll cite just 4 things. 1, an interest forever to learn things, keep learning, and to support education in every case you can. Secondly, a zeal to do something that's worthwhile. Third, a desire to do everything with excellence, and if not done well, do it over again. And then, finally, to operate your life, whether professionally or socially, with high integrity. Those are 4 bonds, I think, that created us all and molded us correctly. It's a great privilege to receive this award for a number of reasons. One of my ancestors, Garrett Judd, was the founder of Oahu College 175 years ago. And many of you here, as I am, are descendants of the Judd clan. So it means a lot to be at Punahou. My mother, Hester Pratt, taught here for several years. She taught me as well, I think, in many good regards. And to be now associated with General Armstrong for what he did, I think 2 of my other ancestors were at the Battle of Gettysburg and probably reported to him. But he believed, as I do, and many do, that education is a solution to the many misguided misunderstandings between peoples of different backgrounds and different cultures. It's a privilege to be associated with that. In my company, we try to emulate that as well. A final word, as I just said, we owe Punahou many things. And it's awfully nice, and it makes you feel good if you can return some of that, either through volunteer work or perhaps even giving kala, because that's very important and very useful. Us techies, or geeks, believe that human progress is really the result of advanced technology. Now, you arts and crafts people might not agree with that, but I can show you the data that proves it. Now, just think about how our lifestyle has changed in just the last 2 decades. Personal computers, the internet linkage, satellite communication throughout the world, global positioning system for navigation, cell phones, and 55,000 different applications of the laser, which our company invented. 55,000 different uses, from medicine to entertainment. Now, that's technology, and guess what? It's improved the world's human behavior and human lifestyle. So, if you have the desire to give something back to Punahou, I would urge that you concentrate or focus on technology advancement. Punahou has an outstanding program called STEM, run by Justin Lai, doing a superb job doing this. It is to stimulate new people becoming interested in science, technology, and mathematics, because it's important to all of us that it happens. Think about that. Mahalo to you all for allowing this award to be presented to me.
Finally tonight, the only thing that's standing in between us and those caramel cuts are the Charles S. Jr. Humanitarian Award. The Charles S. Judd Jr. Humanitarian Award, which was previously known as the Hawaii Humanitarian Award, is given to a Punahou alumni who has made an outstanding contribution to society in Hawaii and is deserving of recognition by Punahou. Similar to the Armstrong Award, its nominee must have made outstanding contributions into the field of public service, humanitarian or charitable efforts, arts, letters, or the sciences, but have gained the awardee significant recognition in Hawaii. This year, the Punahou Alumni Association is proud to give this award to 3 individuals. First individual I'd like to call up, from the class of 1962, Lynn Johnson. Lynn's accolades are much too numerous to announce here. And as her nomination said, she's often seen as one half of the Randy and Lynn team. Randy is sitting right here. What I will note is her time as the past chair on the Board of Trustees of the Honolulu Museum of Art, where she took on the role of acting director and as an unpaid position for 14 months during a tumultuous time in the museum's history. She was instrumental in leading the merger of the Honolulu Museum of Art with the Contemporary Museum. She also serves or has served as board chair of the Honolulu Symphony Society during challenging times for that organization, the Manoa Heritage Center, Mission Homes, and La Pietra, just to name a few. In 1997, the YWCA gave her the Leaders Award. 1 year later, the Association of Fundraising Professionals gave her the Outstanding Volunteer Fundraiser of the Year award. And in all of her time that she still has free, she earned a PhD in musicology from UH in 2009 and teaches music history at UH Manoa. Again, Lynn Johnson.
Well, this is a really big deal. I mean, I just feel very, very honored. And I guess I love Punahou for many, many reasons, but one of the reasons is that they celebrate the arts. And there's no conflict between being an academic and being an outstanding virtuoso in music. And it was so neat to hear the two outstanding seniors from Punahou both be fabulous musicians. And I think that the arts inspire us. They give us creativity. They help us with discipline, all of these things. And so you never have to choose. And I love technology and I love my iPhone, but I'm not going to give up my piano and I'm not going to give up teaching music history. Thank you all very much. And everyone from the class of 1962, raise your hand, please. Woohoo! Yay, 62. Thank you very, very much.
Our second winner of the Judd Humanitarian Award this year is Kahi Pacaro from the class of 1997. Kahi is the founder and executive director of Sustainable Coastlines Hawaii, which educates and increases awareness of plastic waste and plastic products and their effects on Hawaii and the world's ocean environment and the global consequences therein. It organizes beach cleanups throughout the state and promotes coastal conservation. Kahi has brought immense awareness and media attention to the problem of plastic bags and cigarette smoking and is constantly, maybe not constantly, but is often seen on local and national news programs, not only in PBS Hawaii, but also on CNN. Sustainable Coastlines just recently, as a condition of the settlement of charges related to the molasses spill in Honolulu Harbor several years ago, Sustainable Coastlines was selected, along with the Waikiki Aquarium, to receive $600,000 to support its operations. Before I invite Kahi to come up here, I would be remiss to remind all of you that the next beach cleanup being organized by Sustainable Coastlines is scheduled for Saturday, June 25th at 9 a.m. across the South Shore. The Punahou Alumni Association in Punahou has a specific area reserved that is to be determined. So keep an eye out for your emails. It will be coming through or on the alumni website, but please reserve the 25th of June, Saturday, at 9 a.m. for a beach cleanup. With all that, Kahi, please.
All right. Well, like he said, I often do get to speak to the media and whatnot, and I'm usually super calm and collected. But right now, my heart is about to fall out of my mouth. I think the fact of being honored by Punahou has a lot to do with it. Punahou gave me so much, taught me so much. Really, I pushed Punahou to the limits of what was allowed. And I got reprimanded for it. But the fact that they saw a promise and that they saw that I could do something for Punahou and for not just Hawaii, but for the world, to give me a second chance, I think that is huge and speaks volumes to what Punahou has to offer. Now, winning this award at my age, I feel like I have so much more work to do, you know, and I would have never guessed I would win an award like this, and primarily I have to thank my family and my grandparents, Clarence and Teddy, right there. They are the cornerstone of my upbringing, and my parents, Gwen and Gary, and my wife, Louise, and my new baby, Zilzantheli. So, what I'd like to do is, in a sense, really show you that I deserve this award and have you watch the journey that Sustainable Coastlines Hawaii is going to take in the next, 50 years. Because we have a long way to go to creating a sustainable coastlines for Hawaii, and it's a journey and it's going to take all of us. So thank you so much for honoring me. Thank you guys. I'm extremely stoked to be here right now.
Before I introduced the third winner, I missed a cue on my notes. Can you please join me in welcoming Mary Judd, who is here to present the Charles Judd Humanitarian Award to all the award winners. Just a quick hand, please. Thank you, Mary. And finally tonight, again, what stands between you and those caramel cuts? Please join me in congratulating Loretta Luke Yajima from the class of 1964. Like all of the award winners, we could go on about the accomplishments of Loretta and the reasons that she was given this award, but I'll highlight just a few. From 1987 to the present, she spearheaded the planning, development, and continued evolution of the Hawaii Children's Discovery Center, located in Kaka'ako. It's a world-class, hands-on, participatory learning environment designed to inspire children to new heights of learning and discovery. In addition, she has hosted over 300 educators and counting, 300 educators and museum professionals from Asia, Europe, and the United States at the Asian Pacific Children's Museum Conference. The theme for this year's conference is Peace with the Heart of Aloha. She has served as the president of the PFA and was parent chair of Punahou Carnival, and continues to be an active supporter of the Luke Center for Public Service and the Luke Center for Chinese Studies. Again, please help me welcome Loretta Luke Yajima.
Don't worry, because my daughter Laura there said, make it short. They brought the caramel cuts out. I do want to say, though, that Andy has a very unique effect on all of us, because when he called to inform me about this award, he called my husband's cell phone. And my husband came into the room and he said, what is this about? And I said, I don't know. In 2001, I had a visit from a foundation trustee in Inner Mongolia in China. And he approached me and said he was so inspired by what he saw at a Children's Discovery Center, which he had never known what it was before, that he wanted to build 100 children's museums in 100 cities in China. Will you help me, he said. And I looked at him and my eyes glazed over. And I have to say that back in those days, I took French from Madame Burquette and Spanish from Seigneur Maine. And unlike my grandchildren who learned Chinese in kindergarten, my brother Warren and I were sent to Chinese school, and we spent most of the time at the crack seed store down the street instead of learning Chinese. But not to be deterred, this foundation trustee invited me to go to Hohhot, Inner Mongolia, where his foundation headquarters is. And the mayor of the city of Hohhot actually took me to a very famous temple there in Inner Mongolia. And there we were greeted by a whole host of monks who lived on the temple grounds. And this I will never forget. The high priest at the temple, who had actually lived in the monastery at the Daizhou temple for 50 years, told me through my interpreter that he said, "This is the only 4th American that I have ever personally greeted." And it took my breath away, and I said, "Do I dare ask who the others have been?" I could have fainted when he said the first was President Richard Nixon when he came to open relations with China in the 60s. And he said the other 2 were Michael Jordan and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But that's not the punchline of this story. Of course, I said I felt so unworthy because they are all very famous people. But this he told me as he took off the Chinese beads that he had around his wrist and blessed them and then placed them on my arm. I will never forget his words when he said, "The humanitarian heart is every bit as important, if not more, than people who are famous." Now, why is this important to share with you? It is important because it really connects what many of the other awardees have said tonight, and that is that Punahou really prepares all of us to help others and to go out into the world and do great things, both big and small. As Jim Scott has said at just about every commencement exercise that I've attended, he says, "To whom much is given, much is expected." This school teaches us to care about others and to use the education that we receive to leave the world a little bit better than it was when we came into it. Punahou has given us a lifetime of memories, great friends, and amazing education. Most of all, the encouragement and support to help us find out what we were meant to do and what we were meant to be on this planet. I can't begin to tell you the friendships that were formed that we have till today. I have a group from the class of '64 that we've traveled the world together with, and we're still learning. And also other classmates like Cheryl Littman Tomita and Michael Peach, who have really recognized the importance of early childhood education and supported us in the development of the Children's Discovery Center all along. And I also wanted to say that some of the special things that are very dear to me is that here at Punahou, the encouragement and support of the faculty, the staff, and the teachers really helped us discover what we were meant to do and to be in this life. I have learned never to give up, even under the most challenging of circumstances, and think about what it is like to work in China, to build 100 children's museums. I told them, you better hurry up because I'm not going to be here for another 100 years. But most importantly, to learn to give back and to help others learn to be the best that they can be. Special friends that I've traveled with all the world over, as I mentioned, Cheryl and Michael. And the opportunities that our children, my 3 children, have also had the good fortune to be able to graduate from Punahou. And I have 5 grandchildren, and thankfully 2 of them have gotten in. And I have, 3 of them now have gotten in, and I have 2 more to go, God willing. And so I also would be remiss if I didn't recognize one very, really important thing that happened to me as in my days at Punahou. And that is my classmate from the class of 1964 that I went to senior prom with and ended up marrying. I do, and we're still married today. I do want to recognize my husband Tyler as well. Like the other honorees, I owe a lot to this school, and humbly thank you and the Punahou Alumni Association for this amazing honor. Thank you so very much.
Before I turn it back over to Andy, I just want to offer my congratulations to all of the award winners, to all the nominees, and to everyone here. Thank you for being here. For those that won an award, don't forget to collect your poi pounder, one per person. And not only for those of you that won, but also for the board members, please come up at the end of the ceremony for some pictures. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. I just got an update that Michael Chen did in fact win a presidential scholarship. Congratulations, Michael. So thank you to all the awardees for making us proud to be alumni, giving us something to aspire to in our lives and our endeavors. It's a real honor to be able to present these awards to you. And thank you to everybody for coming. That's the last order of business. And I'm invested in this because I really love music, so I want to hear it really loud. We're going to sing a wah-wah. So let's have it. Oh, wah-wah, oh, wah-wah, Punahou, our Punahou, uma, uma, oh, ma, uma, Punahou, our Punahou. 100 years we've shown our light, we glory in Oahu's light. The buff and blues are glorious sight. Punahou, our Punahou. Ready? And strawberry shortcake, huckleberry pie, P-I-C-T-O-R-Y. Are we in it? Well, I guess. Punahou, Punahou, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the evening.